Hola, hola. This is your boy Tico Trin, and this video is going to be an analytical look at why I don't date white women. This is not going to be, the other stuff that I normally do, but this is going to be an analytical look on why I don't date white women. And this one was inspired by the very last white woman that I was talking to. She's number 48, and within a certain age bracket, basically the age bracket of 35 and 45, basically. She's probably matter of fact, she's the last one I talked to, and she's the oldest one I talked to. But typically, here's the problem that I have with white women and why I don't date them. They always seem to be a mixed bag, or a jumbled mess, or a unsure. They seem to be very unsure of their footing. But the thing I've always noticed is they're not unsure of a bad decision that they'll make, but they're unsure of any good decisions that they'll make in their life, is what I've actually noticed. It's kind of sad, but it's true. But the sad part about that is they're always unsure, or they always seem like they're always in a constant state of confusion on what's going on in their life, basically. And this is like one of the many reasons I don't like that. And it's like, when I was growing up, white women were supposed to be the standard of beauty, and they were supposed to be like, they were like the most confident, the most whatever the heck, basically. But you meet them, it's like, that's a nice thing in the outward appearance, but when you get to know them personally, they're some of the least confident people in the whole entire world. I'm just keeping it 100. It is what it is. But that's one of those things where you're taught this growing up, because this is how the world views beauty standards. But when you actually meet them in person, it's like, that is nothing like what I was told when I was a kid. So it's one of those things where, like, they always seem like they're in always constant confusion with their own life, basically. No matter how old they get, no matter how young they are. I've even met younger ones that, are pretty much like the older ones, sadly. And what I mean by that is, typically, a lot of white women, this is what I mean by a constant state of confusion. Good example. The last one. Well, all of them, actually. But I don't want to date. Okay, cool. Great. We're friends. I don't want to date. We're friends. But I'm playing with your pussy, and I'm rubbing your breast, and I'm filling you up and massaging your breast, but we're friends. I'm smacking and groping your ass and playing with your ass when I hug you, but we're friends. You enjoy it, but we're friends. Right. We're sending each other, you're sending me nudes, but we're friends. You hug me sometimes like we're romantically involved, but we're friends. You use pet names that are normally delegated to people who are in relationships, but we're friends. You talk about being in a relationship with me, or seeing yourself in a relationship with me, or wanting to be in a relationship with me, then you flip back to being friends. This is the type of stuff that I'm actually talking about when I talk about a jumbled mess of confusion. And it's like the most interesting thing in the whole entire world. It's like they flip-flop back and forth between wanting to be in a relationship, not wanting to be in a relationship, wanting to fuck you. Obviously the fucking's still there for some odd reason, if you can still grope them and touch their ass and smack their ass and stuff like that. And it's things like this that just blows my mind when it comes to white women. And this is the reason why I don't date them, because to me, growing up in Latin America, that's just confusion. And that, to me, is the epitome of not being honest, for all intents and purposes, and not being able to take you at your word or your face value, basically. Because typically, in Latin America, who we are, what we say is who we are. And we basically betray that very thing about us, basically. So if I say this, that, and the other, I mean this, that, and the other, and this is this, that, and the other, basically. I would never say this, that, and the other, and then flip-flop back and forth. So in Latin America, that's typically one of those things where we start not trusting you, because it's like you don't even know yourself, and it's like what you're saying doesn't match what you're actually doing. And what I mean by that is, what you're verbally saying out of your mouth, consciously, is not matching what you're doing, your actions subconsciously. which makes me not trust you for various reasons, especially in this day and age with all this stuff going on with the legal ramifications. That makes me not trust you for all intents and purposes. And this is typically why I don't date white women, because what they say and what they do is always two totally different things. What they say to me and what they're letting me do to them is always dire opposites, if you know what I mean. It's sad and true, but that's typically how it works. And it's definitely the most confusing jumbled mess in the whole entire world when it actually happens. And you're sitting there trying to sort it out like, well, okay, you were talking about wanting to be in a relationship with me. Now all of a sudden now that's done tampered down, and now we're just doing this now. Or you're letting me damn near get away with murder, but I'm still around. Or you yelled at me and told me not to talk to you no more, but you still talk to me. These are all things that blow my mind when it comes to white women. That makes it so that it's almost like a no-go for me, basically. It's basically a no-go for me at that moment in time, because I remember I told her, you reminded me why I don't date white women, basically. And I didn't really get into why I didn't do it. I basically gave some generic reasons, but I didn't really get into articulate it with her, because I knew she really wasn't going to listen. So it's like one of those things where it's like, I just gave generic reasons, basically, because, it is what it is. But it's one of those things where I don't trust the person I'm talking to, because what she's saying is totally different from what she's doing. And I always tell people, don't listen to what they say, listen to what they do. But in this day and age, that can actually get you jammed up, sadly. This is Tico Trend, and I'm out.
Deuces. Peace.